Wow. Who knew that we'd be blessed with the presence of a statuified Emmy Award winning analytics expert, Tom Haberstroh, on this Monday?
God bless the Emmy Academy. I don't even know if there is an academy, but shouts to them. Shouts to the Blazers. I was informed about like 30 minutes ago from my boss at the Blazers that I would be receiving an Emmy, like a physical Emmy for over the weekend, the Pacific Northwest Emmys, or I guess the Emmys, the Pacific Northwest division, the region. We won for best live game broadcast. And so we were up against the Seahawks. We were up against the Kraken. We were up against a couple others. And we won. So that means like I have like one of 10 different names on the broadcast, like people who contributed to the broadcast. And so I was like, I found out, I sent like congratulations to my staff, the staff at the Blazers. And then my boss was like, well, the trophy's in the mail. And I was like, no, I'm not getting am I really getting an Emmy? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like floored. I like, it's super cool. The Aaron Grossman, Greg Fonseca, Kevin Calabro, and Lamar Hurd. Calabro and Lamar both won separately for the best broadcasting duo on air. So like, they're top notch. In my heart, they're the best. I'm biased, of course, but it's just crazy. It's awesome.
You got to thank your wife. Thank your wife real quick.
I was going to say, Tom, so since you didn't get a chance to grace the stage, you find out in this fashion, you got 2 minutes to give your speech if you was to give a speech.
Yeah, thanks, Maze, for giving me the note there. Okay, hold on.
Very important.
First and foremost, I want to thank the basketball gods. The basketball gods blessed us with a wonderful broadcast. The team at the Blazers, second to none. The standings itself don't reflect how good this broadcast team was. And I just want to go first and foremost, basketball gods, then the Blazers, the Blazers broadcast. Am I forgetting anybody else that I should thank?
Is there anyone that was actually there for you while you did this job remotely from Charlotte, North Carolina?
No. Are you no, my dog. Yeah. Yep. My dog, Piper. Want to thank Piper for protecting the house while I'm away, long nights. I want to thank my girls.
This one's for you, Piper.
This one's for you, Piper.
Piper.
And yeah, my girls. Yeah, my girls for giving me the emotional support I need. Anyone else you're thinking?
No, cue the music.
Sorry, Allison.
Play him off. Wrap that shit up, B.
As a former award winner, you can see I've been on stage. Have you ever like accepted an award though and been on stage and had to do something? Okay, so there's obviously this prompter deep in the back where you give them your speech before so you can read it. Right. But then there's also a timer.
Oh yeah. And do you know the time before you submit your speech?
So it's basically like a shot clock. It's counting down.
Yeah, but do you know the time?
Yeah.
Like when you write your speech, do you know, all right, I got 38 seconds.
Well, no, they'll tell you. Then they tell you they will wrap you up.
Okay.
In the email. Like I got like, hey, you're an honoree. If you win, submit your speech so we can throw it on a prompter, yada, 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 you're finalist. And I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to win, but here. So when I won, I was like, oh shit. And it just felt like the longest steps of my life just trying to get to this stage. And then you're like, like the thing is like, yo, this is a big moment for you. So you don't want to fumble words or forget anybody or make things. But I'm like looking up, but it's planted.
I'm glad I didn't forget anybody important in my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's planted perfectly so that you don't look like you're like reading off something. It's big enough. It's center enough for you to be like, look like you're talking to that person that you're making eye contact with. but you're literally reading off the prompter. And yeah, that's it. And then you just wait.
Did you get Apollo Theater out of there?
No, I was speeding through my shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I just was like, wow, I won, but my adrenaline was kicked in type shit. Like I just was trying to get that shit over with. Because, you know, you got all these people looking at you and then you're waiting for that like awkward pause of like, is he done? Applause. So it was like that moment and I'm like, okay, they fuck with it. And then I walked off. And I think the last thing I was like about to forget, and I was like, because it wasn't on a thing, and I was like, this is for Compton. So I like held up my like shit. And it was a placement trophy. It wasn't mine. Like it has nothing on it.
Yeah,
it was just
a
like
filler.
some shit. Yeah, the filler joint. You're just holding it up and you're just like, oh, okay.
Dummy trophy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go in the back and then you take all these pictures and do all this other shit. And then you hand it over. You don't even get to bring it back to your table and no bullshit. You're just like, here. We'll get in the mail, brother. And that shit got there in like 2 days. It beat me to fucking New York. It was great.
Wow.
I was like, damn, this shit is fast.
Do you think the postman knew before you did? Do you think they got that shit in the mail before?
Nah.
Yeah,
not at all.
I think they did. Yeah, that's how the newsbreakers need to get their information now, is whenever the awards are sent airmail, they got to like get to the UPS store and just be like, yo, the MVP award. Well, I mean, I got to imagine there is a little bit of that, which is like mail people probably have inside information on just like shoes or something like they're getting before everybody else knows. I don't know. I do think it's crazy that I'm getting an actual trophy though. I feel like there's Emmy inflation that I get a trophy. I was on the broadcast for like a couple times a game.
Tom, it's a regional Emmy. So my question is, now do you have to go to nationals? You know, is this the gateway? And now do you have to enter the national tournament of broadcasters?
I want to see the bracket. I want to see if we're a 1 seed, you know? So there's probably, I haven't looked into this, Trey. I don't know if you know anything because you are the award king. There's, I'm guessing, a Northeast regional, a Southeast regional, a Midwest regional, and Pacific Northwest. I feel like we can go head to head with anybody.
No, I think you're good. I think you're set in the guy. Are you going to change and update your bio to Emmy Award winning?
Should I?
Yes.
I mean, I already did it here, so I kind of feel like
this is official.
No, but I'm talking about on your social media. I think it's stamped because people do 2 times nominated. They go that far. You're an actual winner. You have hardware. So like now you even got to upgrade the background scenario where it's like, you see it there. It's like a placement in the back. Now you got to kind of go big dog like that where people will be like, he won an Emmy? You know what I'm saying? Without even having to say it. It's just kind of like one of them things like, yeah. You earn not given though. You grind it. You was away from the family. So you part.
I feel like this is like when Mozgov didn't get a ring. Who's like, I'm trying to think of
Morrison. Adam Morrison.
Yeah, Adam Morrison getting a ring.
But you actually had minutes played, bro. You had minutes played. You know what? You're not the T-Mac Spurs, lock arms, hoping that you get one right there. You were like you was in the mix. You had a good 14 minutes per game.
Yeah. I think 14's pushing it, but I would say if I won an individual Emmy, like when Kevin Calabro wins an Emmy for best broadcaster, I feel like then I put it in the bio. I think that's when I make it. It's like, I don't know. If YouTube was giving out just like participation awards of just like, hey, you have 100 subscribers. Do you put that in your bio? No. But if you get 100,000 subscribers, okay. Now it's certified.
Well, it's the Emmy loophole because everything's an Emmy. Regional is Emmys. Daytime, they're also Emmys. I think it's Emmy's problem that they're not distinguishing what level it is. They're giving Emmys, they're giving the trophy out to regional broadcasts just like you would if you were lead actor in a drama series. And that's on them. The Oscars isn't out there doing that, you know?
Do you remember earlier this year there was an Emmy Award scandal? It just occurred to me. Do you remember this, Maze, for
Which
Illuminati?
one?
There was, I think at ESPN, there was like they took
putting it back.
They put bogus names in there on the staff so that they could get extra awards so that they could hand it out to people like in physical form. So I forget who like uncovered this, but there's a whole scandal. Maze, I feel like we talked about this for a sec.
Yeah, they Reggie Bushed a bunch of people.
That's fucked up.
From their Emmys. Fake name entries for the Emmys in January. Some ESPN on-air personalities were given awards they were not entitled to, but not our Tom.
Yeah.
Not our Tom.
Not taking this one back.
So I'm excited. I'm excited. So I'm going to, next week, I will present the Emmy and bring it onto the show. If it comes, I'm fully expecting that my producer, my boss, is pranking me because he was like, it's coming in the mail. I was like, I don't really. But I don't have to pay for it. Apparently that's a thing that some teams make you pay for it. So I'm thrilled. Maybe it's coming out of my paycheck and I just don't know it.
I mean, I doubt it. I'm headed to the Pacific Northwest, by the way. So if I need to go shake some people up for you, I got you. I'll be in Seattle and Portland. My nephew's graduating from high school. You know what I mean? He's getting ready to hit that next level of life.
Oh, congratulations to your nephew.
Yeah, Michael, let's see what he wants to do with life. We're going to have that little long talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You're going to be his manager?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, he thinks I'm lame. I feel like, Bron, bro, when his kids was trolling, talking about Steph Curry was their dad. That's how my nephew is. He be trolling.
Yeah.
He don't take me serious at all. I'm just not cool.
Yeah, well, I feel it too. I was just up in New York. There's another thing I can't remember. Another thing that I'm going to be flying up to New York for in the next month or so. But I was up there for my nephew's baptism. So yesterday was the baptism, and so I was. He got dunked on. It was more like a little like ladle, like tossing it onto his forehead type thing. Mm-hmm. He's 2. Shouts to Walker. And Walker did an amazing job, and very blessed. I've said blessed 3 times already.
That's what happens when you win an Emmy. Everything changes.
And you go to Catholic church on a Sunday and you just feel very blessed and the gods are with us. And so I was named the Godfather. And so I kind of felt like I had to be there and I wanted to be there, but flew up into LaGuardia and got to see the beautiful LaGuardia airport. And it's probably the same airport that I will be flying into for a festivity next month. July 18th and 20th weekend. There's going to be a live show at Racket in New York City that Count the Dings. We're going to be doing it live.
We're potting.
Baptize Tom on stage. It's going to be exciting.
I guess this is a home game for me now.
Yeah. How does that feel now that you're holding it down as the
being traded to New York and playing at a new location because we've never done the Racket before.
Mm-hmm. You and Tyson Chandler. He was Compton and then got traded the Knicks and won Defensive Player of the Year.
There you go. I don't know if I'm gonna be playing great defense like Tyson, but I will say I'm excited to be back on stage with my guys. I'm excited to see all the wonderful supporters over the years. Even we got some surprises too, so that's gonna be cool. You never know who's gonna come to our live shows.
Miami trophy. Yeah.
So those are the things I'm really excited, for that. We got a chance to do the Toronto show and, that was out the country. And this time we're in the country in the Big Apple. And hopefully we'll do something like the day before, kick off like old times, maybe some karaoke. Maybe some,
that was the old staple was the karaoke on Friday night. So maybe that'll have to make a comeback. We'll find a karaoke spot near the Racket.
You got to go to Chinatown.
I mean, so many options, but I'm in. I can't wait. The link is on Count the Dings and Bomb Network.
Yeah, how are we going to find out? How do you find out more about it, or if you want to buy tickets? How do we do that?
Well, the Patreons, you guys, if you got it, You got Love, you know, the exclusive access, but now the public sale is live. It is open. Look at those flights if you're traveling. Look at those hotels if you need room and board. And now the public sale is live, affordable enough, you know what I mean? For everybody to come see, bring the family, bring people that ain't even you never heard the pod. You know how we go. We family. Can't wait.
Jerv has just let me know I'm basically Gary Payton on the Heat, winning the
That's fair.
championship.
Sounds right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'll take that. The glove, you know?
Yeah. The white glove.
So I'll the white glove. That's what I'll wear on stage. I'll get the white do-rag and the white gloves.
No. Don't do no white glove. They gonna think you. They gonna ask you if it fit. It must have quit. So don't do that.
It's a different type of reference there.
Wait, Michael Jackson's totally. He's totally clean, right? Right. The pop culture is still behind King of Pop.
I don't know, but possibly. I mean, I rock with him. I ain't cancel everybody.
I'm rock with you all night.
There we go.
It's a little taste if you want to
now
go
he's
to
earning
karaoke.
his white glove. Now he might have to wear the white glove, at least at karaoke.
But he'll be the Michael Jackson from The Simpsons, bro. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. How many different Michael Jackson sounds can we do on here?
Shimon.
Shimon. I got kind of get the Weird Al Yankovic version in my head. Like I was a big Weird Al fan as a kid.
Shouts to Weird Al.
Eat it.
You know I'm fat. You know it. You know. Who's fat? Ham and roast beef. All right. That video is awesome. Speaking of karaoke, last time I was doing karaoke in I think it might have been San Francisco. I can't remember when we did a live show with the fans. I did a duo with Mariano with Killa Cam at the karaoke spot, and it was great. I just let Mariano do it because I'm white glove and let him roll for Cameron. So Cameron, he had Killa Cam had a little I don't know, what is it called, a diss track?
I think it was just a response. I don't even know if it was a diss record, but
yeah, I don't know if you can get into a diss rap battle with a basketball player in a commercial and a brand. If they're not going to respond in kind, then he's just responding in his kind.
Okay.
But in this Adidas AE commercial or spot, because I'm not sure if it's been aired on TV as yet, but the social spot did what it was supposed to do.
Believe that.
All right. It had receipts. And one of the receipts featured Cameron, right? Like, you know, and one even took shots at Carmelo. Now, the crazy thing about it was they showed Ant mad love. So it was interesting that they would be the butt of the joke, you know what I mean, in this scenario. And, you know, I seen some people, my man at 7 p.m. in Brooklyn had something to say about it, you know, about like, hey, all Carmelo does is show Anthony Edwards love. But I mean, I guess so. And then Cameron, that's like that's like 50 Cent. It's just certain people you just don't fuck with. Like Shaq. You know, like, you do not want Shaq as your enemy. Take the joke and go. But if you get him started, you're going to get him started. And Cameron's that type of person. And Cameron, this morning, instead of, because in the spot, for those who haven't seen it, he says, fuck buddy. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Cameron. And buddy is, like a term like in Atlanta that or in the South. They ain't fucking with you. They ain't messing with you. I mean, it can go anywhere. I don't want to label it just to Atlanta, but it's a little bit everywhere. In the urban community, we ain't fucking with buddy. So basically, he's saying that it's not enough to respect your name, right? But Cam is Cam. Can't let it go. He has his show. It is what it is. If you ain't watching,
he puts
it
out without a show, Trey?
No, I think at this point he has a platform, and this is before the show. This had to be like 6 a.m. when he recorded this.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the studio before Mace even shows up, before Stat Baby shows up, and he gets it over with. And the bars are still there, very sharp, unique. And he didn't even, the thing was, we have such a good thing at selective reading and selective hearing in social media. He didn't diss Anthony Mace, not Anthony Mace, Anthony Edwards, right?
Anthony.
He didn't
Trey Edwards,
diss Anthony Mays either.
Or Trey Edwards.
Yeah.
Or Trey Edwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just basically said, that shit was whack. I showed you love, but I'm going to talk to Adidas directly.
He sure did. Believe
because
that.
they put you up to this. I get it. Get your bag, but they put you up to this. And now I'm going to name off every player that has been injured in that shoe. And that your design is a watered down version of whatever Kanye was about to put out. And
so that's what that was about. Okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
The Kanye reference there.
And he was just basically, kind of just dumbing that down. Like, bro, and you think I'll wear your shoes? No. Jim Jones ad lib, right? And then also, he mentioned KD in there. Him and KD are very close. Ant-Man's favorite player is KD. And he said, KD even said he's not sticking a toe in nose. So really good. Really good.
It was really good. And like you said, he didn't take a shot at Ant. He kept it. He went above Ant and he went, okay, let's go at Adidas here.
Mm-hmm.
He piqued my interest as the player health injury guy. I was like, I don't think I've heard the Adidas allegation on injuries. I've heard Puma. I've heard that. I've heard different brands catching a little bit of flack for the injuries, but I didn't quite know that he had receipts on the different injuries. And he listed Kevin Ware, which was holy shit, what a call out that was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I never even considered that Kevin Ware, what he was wearing at the time when he snapped his leg, had the most gruesome, I would say, not that we need to do the gruesome Olympics in basketball, but probably the most gruesome basketball injury of the last, 20 years.
Absolutely. Yes.
Visually jarring. There's Paul George and Gordon Hayward are the other two that kind of happened in front of our eyes.
Yep.
But this was way worse because it was the raised stage of an Elite Eight game, and we played in a football stadium, probably. Yeah. So very, very gnarly. But yes, Adidas,
Google what was on his toes.
At your own risk.
Yeah. So
give the discretion warning on that one.
Yeah, he did not give the discretion warning.
No. So here we go. He says, fucking careers up. T-Mac, Derrick Rose, RG3, John Wall, let him know. Or whatever. I'm butchering that line. Then he goes, Reggie Bush, Iman Shumpert. Did Iman get in there? I think he called out Iman Shumpert, who in his rookie season, he was wearing Adidas and he tore his ACL for the Knicks in the playoffs against the Heat. And then goes Kevin Ware. So I got to ask you, Trey, because I'm starting to think oh man, that's a pretty bad, rap sheet there for injuries on Adidas shoes. But then I was like, wait, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young. Did Kobe get hurt when he was wearing Adidas?
Kevin Garnett didn't.
No. So I'm thinking of all the biggest names.
He broke his wrist in Venice Beach, but not like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So not to fact check Cam, but I'm sitting there being okay, is there really a story here in terms of Adidas actually having all these catastrophic injuries? I know John Wall is different than Kevin Ware. John Wall, I do think there was a lot of mechanical issues with his shoe that contributed. I don't think I need to go bossa nova on that one, but there's a lot there about John Wall and his injuries. But I would say the Kevin Ware thing, that was a freak accident. And I don't know if you can put that on Adidas, but it makes for a hell of a line in a rap. So
Tom, I think this Emmy is making your third eye welded shut a little bit here. I need you to open that third eye a little bit more and see what Cameron's talking about. Third eye, 3 stripes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Injuries, RG3. Let's connect the dots a little bit here.
Oh yeah. I like what you're doing there. And the Derrick Rose, I'm sorry. I need to keep my third eye open on this. And my third stripe open.
Mm-hmm.
And now my question is, Trey, as a fellow Edward yourself, and Anthony, if you'd like to weigh in as part of the Anthony Edwards team,
Mhm.
Do you clap back?
I wouldn't. I'll go on about my business. Not even on that respect. I mean, I've seen some rumblings that, Anthony Edwards' brother raps. I don't want to hear that. No one wants to hear that.
I'll bet Anthony Edwards' brother wants to hear that, though. If you were him, would you respond as a platform?
Absolutely. I got all the eyes. That's free money for me. Hell yeah. Go ahead. But I just don't think that it's best in the best interest. I think now count it as another receipt. Add it to your play. You know what I'm saying? Make his favorite team be punished. You know what I mean? Maybe get him a front row seat. Make him put some more respect on him or something like that. But yeah, I ain't doing all that. You know what I mean? Like, all that. Cool. You know what I mean? He said something first. You know what I mean? Like, that's on the brand to handle that. Now, if the Adidas want to throw their hat in the ring with another petty person, Cameron put his money up and try to do some bullshit too. He that interested in it. He don't care. He will crash out for it. So, yeah, I wouldn't entertain it. You know what I mean? I think Adidas social team was more so high-fiving than anything because, like, that's free publicity. You got the diehard Minnesota Timberwolves fans that were like, oh, well, fuck that guy. I'm going to go get me some AELOs. They're great to me. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it works. But on the Nike side, somebody in Beaverton need to get a box together and send Cameron a nice gift package for that, for that defense. That was free defense right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jordan too, because of the Luka jersey.
Yeah. I mean, that too. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Cam is a Mavs fan, I think. He's always been Mavs or Spurs. He's one of those. So he's from Harlem, though. I don't know what the thing is, but God Shamgod is on the coaching staff, and God Shamgod is his man's. So, there's some connection there. But yeah, I would definitely get a box together in Harlem, world him out.
Let me ask you this, Trey. Who is the all-time, think about Cam wearing Luka's jersey. Who is the most Compton certified white dude in the NBA all time? Like, you would walk through the hood and you might see a white dude's jersey. Is it Larry Bird? Like, who would be the most? Well, that's Boston, so I don't know if that's
Jason Williams.
Is there?
Yeah, that's what I was going to be my guess.
White chocolate. I had white chocolate jersey.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, because it wasn't about black or white. It was especially Michael Jackson. Shout out to Michael Jackson. But it don't matter if you're black or white. Because, like, obviously Pistol Pete was, probably that before that. But, like, we weren't alive. You know what I'm saying? We didn't catch it.
Yeah.
We caught highlights. But Jay Will was literally, like, bald head. Had the story about him smoking weed. It was just like a rebel in it. You know what I mean? Obviously, he had some off the court shit. But always fun to just, like, he was worth the money. You know what I mean? As far as passing. You know what I mean? Like, he took passing to another level. Magic Johnson was there. Jason Kidd was there. But, like, the elbow pass is still one of, like, the vanity plays of all time. Like, it was one of them just, like, pretty joints.
And he was in the iconic Nike commercial, right?
Yes.
What do you even call that line that they did? The dribbling beats.
Yeah, it's a squeak sound, but they were it's the Nike Battlegrounds. Wyden came up with that. Do you know that, right?
No. Shouts to Wyden. Let's go.
So that commercial killed N1.
Kill it.
That was the response to N1. It won the streets back.
Won the streets back. Amazing. That one ad could do that.
But they had Charles to N1, who would be technically Skechers in that time, trying to get into a big landscape of basketball. And, you got these juggernauts and you're trying to get in there, and it's organically gravitating to it because they're paying street ballers. They're embracing the community. They're putting on, they kind of ruined the game for a year. because people were trying those type of moves. People were trying to put on shows. The NBA was like, the viewership wasn't down, but the Lakers were dominating. So it wasn't like on a, you know what I mean, on a popular stance. Like T-Mac was leading the league in scoring, but like it didn't matter, unfortunately, because he wasn't winning. The Lakers was just knocking everybody out. You know what I mean? And then you got And1 all of a sudden, getting NBA players involved in their open runs, getting NBA players to wear their shoes and all that other stuff. They had video games. They were going on tours. Like they had a cool aspect about it. And Nike's like, fuck, we can't buy this. You can't buy that community. You get what I'm saying? Like it's something that
we all had a VH1. We all had VHS tapes of the
and the crazy thing about it,
we all just like
they gave those tapes away free with the purchase of a shirt or shorts. So that was brilliant guerrilla marketing. And then you get a couple months, somebody, I don't know who was the writer over there at Wyden, and they came up with Nike Battlegrounds.
Game over.
And it was game over. Because they got all the guys. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you the story. I got a chance to talk to Sheed about it. And she said they were hooping. It was a great run. Great pickup run. Like some of the best run he had. They would be shooting in between. So when it was time for him to do his part, if you go back and watch, mate, can we pull up the commercial? Because I want to explain this. Because I was so confused too. I was like, yo, you could have did anything. Everybody was doing their thing. He was not fucking with it at all. He was not fucking with it at all.
Well, can I tell you, in Westport, Connecticut, suburbia, Connecticut, we would all just like try to do the video from start to finish. We would all try to get the rhythm down. We weren't nearly as good as we thought we were. And it was all we could do. Like as soon as we got off of school, we wanted to go to the gym and like recreate the video. Because like early 2000s basketball the NBA wasn't popping.
And that's what I'm saying. It was almost boring. That we had the lockout. Well, you were probably 8th grade. I was 9th grade, right? You were 8th grade, 99?
Yep.
I was freshman year of high school. We had the lockout. So we were looking for something I was playing like basketball, but I didn't have time to watch the NBA and do all the other shit. And I was so annoyed that the Lakers I was the biggest Kobe hater right at the time, bro. Like, I didn't really get on the Kobe train until he scored 81, where I was like, all right.
Well, that was the Kobe era where he was trying to be Michael.
Yeah, no, but it was hard.
Every post-game interview, it was like, oh man, he's trying way too hard.
It wasn't great.
Hey, Jerv.
BD, D-Mouse.
Yep.
Don.
Ooh, wow.
DC. So they asking all these players, hey, you got the camera on, you do something. Right? They even got...
Oh, Iceman? Yeah.
So it's still going. Post claw, I think. Right? Still doing something.
I'm going.
Lamar Odom. J. Will. He doesn't want to do this. As you can see, I ain't doing shit. That's what he told him. I ain't doing shit. That's what he told him. And I was like,
and he didn't. He didn't
do nothing. He literally watched the ball go. He didn't touch the ball. He got paid. And he took his ass home. He didn't do nothing. He said he came to hoop and that was it. He wasn't about to dance. He wasn't about to do nothing. I love She for that.
Oh man, I love that. That's a great story. I was trying to place, what did she do in the video? And you're like, nope, just wait. And it was just the ball going over his head and him just standing there kind of jumping.
He was supposed to catch it.
That was the best take.
He was supposed to catch it, bro. He never caught it. He just let it go.
Man, that's great. Thank you, Trey, for that. We do have a little bit of the finals here.
Let's talk finals.
Yeah, Mavericks, Celtics. This is the Kyrie Irving, Kristaps Porzingis revenge tour. The Grant Williams revenge tour. Both teams had Grant Williams, and they got rid of him, and now they're in the finals.
Does Grant Williams get one of those Emmy Award rings if the Mavericks win this year?
Who would give him a ring first? I mean, he might be getting a ring anyway. Both sides might be like, you know what? Thank you for your contributions. Well, the thing about the Grant Williams trade is that netted PJ Washington, and then they got Daniel Gafford. So when we look at the Dallas Mavericks, we have to keep in mind that this team that went, I think they were like 36-14 over the last 2 months. Like, they are not just a 50-win team, right? They are a team that after the trade deadline, when they got Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, they went 21-9. So this is a team that was firing on all cylinders, the hottest team coming into the playoffs. And then Luka and Kyrie have stayed healthy. Derek Lively, he had the neck strain, came back and got hit again, but he's going to be playing. Derek Jones Jr., he's been outstanding. PJ Washington, great pickup. I picked the Mavs in 7, which is crazy because the Celtics are on an all-time heater. All-time. They're one of the top all-time net rating, not just in the regular season, but in the postseason. I looked this up, Trey. The net rating for the Dallas Mavericks was 5.4, meaning they outscored opponents by 5 points every 100 possessions after the trade deadline, which is really good. The Boston Celtics aren't just at 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 plus net rating. After the trade deadline, the Boston Celtics were plus 15.4. So even if we want to say the Dallas Mavericks have been awesome since the All-Star break or since the trade deadline, February 10th is when they first started playing with the Dallas Mavericks, the Boston Celtics have been way better. And yet I kind of feel like they haven't been tested enough for me to believe that they're going to win in this series. And Luke is the best player in this series, better than Jason Tatum, better than Jaylen Brown. And I feel like they've been better tested than the Boston Celtics, beating 3 teams at least 50 wins in their path. And the Boston Celtics didn't have to face Jimmy Butler, didn't have to face Jared Allen, didn't have to face half of Donnie Mitchell, didn't have to face half of Tyrese Halliburton. And the Mavs have answered every single question with resounding answers. And I feel like even though Vegas thinks they're the heavy underdogs here, I think you're going to see a lot of media people or a lot of experts are picking Dallas, and I'm one of them. What about you, Trey?
I hate to be doing this, man. I never thought I'd be taking up for Boston right now, bro. What is going on right now, man?
Do it.
You can't fault a team for being good. You just can't. You can't fault a team for being good. Their schedule, they didn't get the easiest route.
Correct.
They are the number 1 seed. And when you're the number 1 seed, you know who you play? The lower seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Play the 8s. And then everybody else got to win. And every time you show up, hey, that's just how you play who's in front of you. Can't fault them for that. Can't fault them for that. If it was something else, maybe. But they've been rolling. They've been good. It's unfair. I don't have a problem with the Celtics. I have a problem with the Celtics fans. I know I like Kyrie. I like Luka. But man, Boston Celtics are really good.
They're really good, man.
They're really good.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I just can't do it.
I've been picking the Mavs in any conversation I've had. But on this platform, I'm going to say Boston in 6.
Okay. Boston in 6.
And you're thrilled about it.
Yeah, you sound really confident.
I'm not really. I'm confident about it.
Yeah, it's not confident. It's just not joy.
No, it's just not joy. You know what I mean? Like this is like when your mom whoop you and say it's going. I'm hurt. This hurts me more than it.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts me more than it hurts you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that feels like. There's no pure joy of the Celtics getting another banner because the fans are going to gloat and say they're the greatest franchise since sliced bread. They're going to treat this like the 08. And we're going to have to hear about this from this team 10 years from now. And yeah, it's not enjoyable, but they are very good. Drew Holiday is a fucking wet blanket. He locks your ass up. Jaylen Brown looks like a number one option. Who's not?
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum. We don't know which Jason Tatum we're going to get. Porzingis is practicing with the squad. Derek White is the X factor. Peyton Pritchard doing it for the white man. Yeah.
I can't wait for Peyton Pritchard versus Luka. It's gonna be great.
It's a big one.
We had TJ McConnell and Peyton Pritchard, and now we're gonna get.
It wasn't TJ McCollum.
TJ McCollum. I saw that.
You see that Nick Young tweet?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I don't know if he's washed or he's just not all there.
It's one of those things that I really don't want it to get in my head because I'm going to start calling him TJ McCollum now.
Yeah, that's how catchy it is. It's a real earworm.
I talked to TJ and TJ. I talked to TJ. I talked to CJ and CJ.
There it is. We just did it.
And CJ chimed in and I said, if you could have anything that you could take from it, right? He says, give me his little man syndrome energy. And my buddy joked, he's a trainer. He said, you'd take his free throws too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to TJ McCollum and CJ McConnell.
Don't do it. Please don't. I had this thing this year, even though I did get an Emmy, it's only because I'm so proud of it because I think at least once I called Jabari Parker on air and just that was brutal. And so I literally sat in my studio here, just like Bart Simpson, writing down Jabari Walker's name, Jabari Walker, and just trying to get it out of my head, the other version, which I'm trying not to say because inevitably it's going to come back and the contagion is going to get inside my brain. So, I'm excited for this series. It's a week without content in terms of the NBA, and so people are saying, "Oh, there's too much time." Blah blah blah. We wait 2 weeks for the Super Bowl, and we have no problem doing that.
But it's the same problem. It's the exact same problem. It's just
it's not
for me
a problem.
Personally, as a consumer, it's the most boring period to consume the podcasts and the shows that you've been listening to or watching all year long because every narrative is going to get beaten to death, right? Like every single story is going to be looked at or talked about. I mean, Radio Row, I get it as a concept for the Super Bowl. Hey, everybody's together, but it's fun for them. I think it's less fun for the listener. And so that's kind of the problem with this week off is
I disagree. The more time off, the more kind of like stories have time to germinate and hit the ether. So like Kyrie Irving and that storyline of going back to play Boston. Okay. But now we have Jason Tatum. We have Jaylen Brown. There's going to be something in the next 3-4 days where there's going to be a controversy because there is open time. We have to fill the content machine. And what I think happens with Radio Row is it's not for you and me. It's not for the experts. It's for the other people who we need to get on board with finding a storyline that they care about. And so this vacuum of like a week, I think is good because we're going to get like, I don't know, we're going to get some weird story about Peyton Pritchard and it's going to get people to care about this series in a way they would never have cared about Peyton Pritchard or PJ Washington or Derek Jones Jr. I feel like the time is good. And it's one of the reasons why I feel like the NBA would be better suited to have more time off between games because I think the outrageous number of games in the NBA's calendar, it doesn't have enough breathing room. It doesn't have enough oxygen for storylines to build up during the regular season. And I feel like if we just gave rivalries or matchups more oxygen, and you're saying, I'm fine with oxygen, but maybe not a week's worth of oxygen. Now we're just getting OD'd on oxygen. I hear that, but I just think we need more time between matchups and series so that we can build up this energy and these storylines. And if we can do it for 2 weeks for the Super Bowl, we should do it for a week in the NBA Finals, and we're going to be okay. We got the predictions there on the Celtics Dallas series. I think the corner three is going to be the key in this series. The Mavericks love the corner three because any penetration from Luka and Kyrie, they're kicking out to the corners. The Boston Celtics, they clamp down on the corners. They do not help off the corners, and that's where the series is going to be won, is whether the game of chicken is going to be won by Luka or it's going to be won by the Celtics defense that doesn't want to break. They don't want to blitz. They don't want to double Luka Doncic. I think Anthony Simons got doubled more than anybody except for Luka this season. As I was covering the Blazers, I was like, man, Anthony Simons, every time he gets the ball across half court, they're blitzing. They're sending two on the ball every time. And Luka had it by like a mile. So the Celtics don't typically do that. So if they can get the ball out of Luka's hands and in Kyrie Irving's hands on a 4-on-3 situation, that's going to be tough. So we'll see. But Derek Lively is going to be better. Luka's knee injury is going to be better. I think Luka's knee might be more important than the calf strain for Kristaps Porzingis because Al Horford's been great for him, and I think Luke Cornett's been good for him. So if Luka is not playing at 100%, that's going to be tough business for the Dallas Mavericks. But if Kristaps Porzingis isn't playing at 100%, they're going to be okay. So Luka's knee getting a week off. I feel confident in Dallas Mavericks in 7, but that's why they play the games. Speaking of games, Trey, a lot of games being played that aren't about basketball. A lot of games being played about Caitlin Clark, not just on the floor and getting hip checked, and the hard fouls that she's receiving in her first 11 games here in the season for the W. But there are a lot of games in the media. Which one do you want to take a crack at first? Because it was wild over the weekend.
I'm gonna start with the media, man. It's very juicy right now. Very juicy. I mean, these takes, I wish it was about hoop, but that's what happens when you find a passionate fan from another sport. Well, not sport, but another like tier of the sport, transitioning and over. And everybody from college followed her over, Caitlin Clark, that is, to the WNBA. Rightfully so. Generational talent. Very good at what she did on the college level. Now she has to prove it on the professional level, which she is WNBA Rookie of the Month. Shouts to her. But they have an interesting schedule, one of the hardest. But yeah, I mean, there's a discourse that's unwelcomed in the sport right now, a black versus white thing, and it shouldn't be. It should be about basketball. And some fans feel that Caitlin Clark is targeted. Some think that WNBA players are jealous of her. I disagree. I think basketball is a contact sport. But things can get a bit chippy. I don't think a lot of people have seen the Los Angeles Sparks versus the Detroit Shock many, many years ago, where Cheryl Ford, she actually fucked up herself trying to be a peacemaker, and Candace Parker potentially being attacked in, her rookie year. And this was 2008, 9, one of them. I think 08. Long story short, this isn't the first time rookies have been kind of treated a certain way. You know what I mean? It's going to get physical. I understand that Caitlin Clark is a darling to everybody. Media darling at that. Good player, but the game's going to get physical. People ain't really trying to hurt her. But they're going to show. WNBA remind me of the golden era of hoops right now. It's physical. It's finding its way. The vets are really laying it on them. You know what I'm saying? Laying a foundation, trying to, hey, this ain't what you think it is. Trying to have some pride in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like being physical, understanding this is not a cakewalk. This is not college. And you got 144 of the best players. That means no one had this shit given to them. Everybody earned it. And respectfully, it is very tough. We watched national leading scorers. We watched national champions get cut in the first round. This league is one of the best leagues in the world when it comes to women's basketball. And yeah, I don't see anything bad about it. Teresa Weatherspoon put out a statement talking about she doesn't change. She won't change the physicality of how her team represents, and they're playing Chicago Sky basketball. I fuck with that. wholeheartedly. If you watch Teresa Weatherspoon, you're going to understand why the Chicago Sky play like they do. They embody their coach. They are not dirty, but they are going to be physical, and you're going to earn every fucking basket. So, again, Chennedy Carter did not try to hurt Caitlin Clark, but did get a little physical. That happens. It is what it is. No, I mean, I made the joke about getting the enforcer, but no, if I get fouled, Tom and Mace, please come to my rescue. Don't let me get mauled. Don't let it be a timeout. Don't let me help myself up. Show me that you got my back. And that's something that the Fever need to do. Or we're looking on the outside looking in that they just don't fuck with her like that.
Yeah, I know a guy who could help.
Who?
James Johnson plays for the Pacers.
He didn't have to go far. He lives right there.
Right there. I don't even know if he needs to be in uniform. I don't think he'll be allowed to play, but he just needs to be courtside. Maybe just make him like an honorary Fever.
Make him second guess.
You know,
sign him to both Indiana teams, Indiana franchises. I like that.
Yeah,
with the stake in ownership.
Oh, yeah. James Johnson, he's there. We know he's there. I pulled this up. I want to get this in here. Caitlin Clark, 15.6 points per game. First 11 games. LeBron James, his first 11 games, 16.5 points per game. Caitlin Clark, 6.4 assists. LeBron James, 6.5 assists. So they basically same scoring, same assists. The difference is Caitlin Clark, 5.4 turnovers. She does have to cut down on turnovers a little bit. And LeBron is at 3.6. But their shooting percentages, not great, both of them. And Caitlin Clark's doing those numbers in just 33 minutes a game, and LeBron was doing it in 41 minutes per game. So if you do a minutes adjustment on Caitlin Clark, they're better than LeBron's in his first 11 games. And I do think LeBron turned out okay.
So you're telling me, Tom, that even LeBron, many people's greatest of all time, also struggled at the beginning of his career?
Yeah, and the Cavs didn't make the playoffs his rookie year, and they were 4-7 in their first 11 games. And so Caitlin can't do everything, just like LeBron couldn't do that every time. And so that'll do it for this week's show. Make sure you go tap into our Count the Dings Patreon. If you want VIP tickets, patreon.com/Count the Dings. Get access early, entry into the show. Come hang out with us. We got some surprises for you. Otherwise, we'll see you in New York at Racket in New York, July 20th. We got some surprises to announce soon. So stay locked into our Twitter account, our Instagram account at Count the Dings. Follow us, and we'll see you there.